you guys should be looking at our website every day. I mean, realistically, we have bomb ass articles that are written by some of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my entire life. Keone, producer Ian, and intern Aaron. We got cool shit up there. Check it out. Our website, fantasydaydreamers.com. Let's get this pod started.
Welcome into the Fantasy Daydreamers podcast. I am JJ. You guys can follow me at JJ Daydreamers on Twitter. With me today, I have Ryan.
What's up, guys? Robot Rocco is gone,
R.I.P.
but your boy Rocco will always be here. ROKKO.
Rocco.
Daydreamer. That's where you can follow me on Twitter. See you there.
And Keone is here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody of all denominations. Oh boy, who would have guessed how hard it is to actually run a multi-billion-dollar company? But before he changes his mind, you can see all my fantasy football related tweets at Daydreamer Keone.
And if you guys wouldn't mind, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, invest, whatever it's called on whatever platform you are listening to this on, and tell your friends because, you know, we're having a lot of fun over here and helping you guys win your fantasy football championships.
I like that last one the best.
Invest in us. We need some long-term investors, please. Let's get into some news. All right. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford left his game early in the third quarter with a concussion. Now, he is not officially in concussion protocol still as of yet, but he was taken out of that game.
It's been 2 weeks now that he's either not played or been taken out due to head injuries, and so it's not looking good for.
To me, this is horrible for Cooper Kupp. Them losing a game, them, Matthew Stafford being hurt now. I don't think Cooper Kupp gets back at all.
I think he's like going to be out for like 6 to 8 weeks, so I don't even know if he would have come back.
Yeah, but I think if it was 6, he could have pushed it to 5. Like there was a chance he could have came back if they would have had a little streak.
Get him for your fantasy championship, maybe.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, especially with Staff. If you have 2 concussions and or maybe not, I don't know, whatever happens. If you're in concussion protocol this long, I don't like your chances of playing during down season.
Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts left early with a knee injury. It's believed to be a torn MCL. He was placed on IR.
Sucks for him.
Yeah. But if you have him, you don't have to start him anymore. So
that's the way to look on the bright side, buddy.
Yeah.
Positivity of injuries.
Sad.
You don't got to keep doing the same heartbreak.
Yeah,
Great job.
Sad for the human, happy for the fantasy managers. Bears quarterback Justin Fields was carted off the field after the game. He has a left shoulder injury. He is considered day-to-day right now.
I think
on a hot streak.
I know. I think the coach also said they haven't ruled out that it's season ending, which is something you do not want to hear, especially for a guy who is gonna, the best player on your team by far and having, a potential breakout for the rest of the season. So there goes that second half stud aspect, potentially. Yeah. Hopefully it's okay.
They're being very, very vague on this injury with Justin Fields.
Yeah. And with how much he runs too, I wouldn't be surprised if it's season ending. I mean, he takes another hit on his shoulder. Is it his throwing shoulder? Do you guys know?
No, it's his left shoulder.
Oh, sorry.
Not opposite. But still, yeah, you're right. He runs a lot and he's young.
Yeah, Fields, don't pull a Baker. Remember when Baker tried to play through it? Now he's a backup on the Panthers.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Started this week.
My bad, sorry.
And lost.
Broncos running back Chase Edmonds left early with a high ankle sprain. Looks like he's going to miss some time. Giants wide receiver
ankles.
Wan'Dale Robinson tore his ACL on Sunday. He's going to be placed on IR and going to miss the rest of the season.
I don't know. You might start having to ask the replacements to come into the Giants for as wide
Odell?
receiver. Maybe.
You know what? We might have to play a game of can we name 3 Giants receivers?
Darius Slayton, Richie
And-
James.
Richie James, yes, that's good because he just got a touchdown too.
And that's there you go.
That's 2.
I think it's David Steele.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Steele's the 4th or 5th or some shit like that.
Okay.
yeah. So,
Good job.
Giants pass catchers non-existent now.
Mm.
Steelers running back Jalen Warren left early with a hamstring injury. The backup there to Najee.
Actually, looking good.
Najee looked better without Jalen Warren behind him.
Oh my goodness, dude!
Yeah, he hurdled somebody into that end zone. It's like, dang.
Nasty one.
Mm.
Is beautiful. Bengals running back Joe Mixon left early with and he entered concussion protocol. So if you have Joe Mixon, expect him to miss at least 1 week.
Yeah, awful. It
It just seems to be the trend there.
it's so terribly, you love to see, the other guy get what he did, but you wanted him for Joe Mixon. As a
Even if
person.
it wasn't gonna go to Joe Mixon, could have been to T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd or someone
True.
that we actually started.
True. You're right. Like I meant the person versus fantasy argument. It's like good for him, as a player, but fantasy that's not what you want to see.
Yeah. Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams left early after re-aggravating his ankle. Remember, he was dealing with a high ankle sprain. He missed 2 weeks with that high ankle sprain.
Nasty catch, though. If you're gonna hurt it like that, at least he caught it. That was filthy.
I'm gonna get rid of this early. I think you can drop him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Keenan Allen looked good.
Would
had
you
the
drop him
fumble,
if you had
but-
an IR spot?
If you had an IR spot, maybe if he's the only guy on your team that is on IR, then put him there. But if you have others, you might if you have a Cooper Cup or a Dallas Goedert or something like that. I'm keeping those guys.
Mike Williams or Michael Thomas in your IR spot. Michael Thomas is already missing the rest of the season for sure.
Oh, you're right. So
You said, "Ooh, Coyote, come on, dude."
I forgot.
I was just making a
It's-
joke. That's why I didn't
yeah.
let you answer, is because it was a joke question.
You should have let him answer.
It's the name value
You
alone.
know what, Michael Thomas. Use him as a trade piece.
I go week by week. Everything that's in the past,
Is in the
is
past,
behind me.
yeah.
Exactly.
Chiefs running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire left early with an ankle injury. Looks like it's gonna be a high ankle injury. Could miss some time.
It's good for somebody else though.
Chiefs wide receiver Kadarius Toney also left early. He's dealing with a hamstring injury.
Man, his hamstrings are made out of spaghetti. That boy out here be pulling this shit every week.
Dang, Kevin Nash up in here.
Sweet Jesus.
Broncos waived running back Melvin Gordon from the roster.
Ugh, bound to happen, but good for
You know what,
somebody
Melvin
else.
Gordon? I'm glad you got set free.
Mm,
Yeah,
Hopefully
I
he'll-
think this is good for both sides.
mm,
Yeah.
honestly.
true. Depending on where he goes, he might be a viable option, but we'll have to wait and see.
He's
Yeah.
gonna go somewhere and vulture touchdowns from someone.
Oh, he's 100% a backup.
Yeah.
I could see him going to Seattle. Just so Pete Carroll control him some more. You see this, Denver? This is how you use him.
That would be amazing. I would actually really love to see that.
Same. We're
You
I'm
know?
all aboard.
Yeah.
And Cardinals wide receiver Rondale Moore left early with a groin injury in the Monday night game. So
Sucks.
And that
Sucks.
also worked out for Keone. Because
but
Aaron
it's-
had him and he's had negative 0.06 points.
It really did, and so I kept my lead in that league, and so Debo did great, so that really helped, but it also helped.
Oh,
that
yeah, trust me, I know
Rondale-
you did great.
Yeah,
I drafted him. I can't. If you don't know what we're talking about, check out this week. Coney will be doing the gritty because he
Hey,
lost
check
in our
out all
draft.
social medias at FF Daydreamers.
This is why you should be watching the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Find out more information.
All right, that'll do it for the news. Let's move on to some Week 11 awards. All right, so this first award, it's a simple one. This is the MVP of the week. This is the Who Do You Think You Are, I Am award.
Who do you think you are? I am.
What do you guys got for the MVP for Week 11?
Okay. I'm gonna go with, he had some obstacles in his way with this week. It was, it was kind of you weren't sure because the guy who was normally starting got put back in coming off injury, but this guy just shows, that I am the better running back, and you should play me. I should be starting in every single game because this is what I do. This is I am just so good. It is Tony Pollard.
Balls back, motherfuckers. I called it. He's on fire. Old school beer pong rules.
Yeah, he had his 5th game of the season with over 100 scrimmage yards. It was his best week of the year, despite Ezekiel Elliott trying to ruin it, play upset, getting 16 touches. No. Pollard said, "Get out of my house." Pulled to Dikembe Mutombo, the finger wag. He had 6 receptions, 189 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Finished as the RB1 definitively. And if this is not enough evidence that Pollard should be a starter on that team or basically any team, then I have no idea what is, because he is a great running back. He is too good not to play. And I think he could be a difference maker, not only for the Cowboys if they make it to playoffs, but for your fantasy team when you go to your fantasy playoffs, hopefully, after listening to us. And as much as I don't want the Cowboys to go to the fantasy or to go to the playoffs, he is going to be a problem for defenses if they make it. So just Tony Pollard, just bravo. You put in the work. Hopefully you finally made it. And this is what happens when hard work pays off.
All right.
For me, sorry, you go, JJ. Sorry. I think your guy's the real MVP anyway, so I'll give you the award first.
I got Travis Kelce, an amazing tight end. It's incredible the things that Travis Kelce is able to do. Like this week alone, he had 6 receptions on 10 targets, 115 yards, and count them 3 touchdowns, the old hat trick. This is only the 2nd time he's finished as the tight end 1 this season, but he's only finished outside of the top 3 once all season. He finished as the tight end 15 once. Other than that, he's been the tight end 1, 2, or 3 every single week. It's literally like whoever is controlling Travis Kelce hit up, down, left, right, BA, unlocked the greatest tight end of all time. He's on pace for 117 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 18 touchdowns right now. He's already matched his season total in touchdowns with 11. It's just a historic season for a 33-year-old tight end, Travis Kelce. He's literally the cheat code for fantasy football right now.
Yeah, and I think he surpassed Gronk with was it 33 touchdowns or 33 games with over 100 yards or something like that. And
yeah,
he's so good. He's automatic Hall of Fame. Just it's stupid. Yeah, cheat code, like you said.
All right. For me, my MVP will be Devontae Adams. 7 receptions, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, had the game-winning touchdown. Him and Josh Jacobs are basically this whole offense. Great for us in fantasy. Great for them in real life. Shout out to him. Good game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jamothy.
That touchdown that he caught, where both defenders read it the exact same and went the same way, which is bad defense. But also, he had to put on a move that got him so wide open.
Oh,
bro.
dude.
It was
filthy. Broke his ankles. Bad.
like poor defense because one of you guys is going one way, one of you guys go the other way, but still nasty. So Tony Pollard, Devontae Adams, and Travis Kelce, you guys are this week's Who Do You Think You Are I Am award winners. All right, this next award, a player that was risky either to start or sit, but it worked out for you in the end. This is the Spicy Award.
Be careful though. It's spicy.
I get chills. That's a guy that was a spicy player. Not sure how he's going to play. Sort of a home game, but not really a home game. Not an away game either. The quarterback for the Browns, Jacoby Brissett, trying to make the most of his time before somebody else comes in and probably takes that spot. He finished as the QB3 on the week, having just under 325 passing yards, but he had 3 touchdowns. He also had 29 rushing yards to get over 350 total for the day. He did fumble the ball, but he almost had upset victory over the Bills, who were ranked 3rd versus the quarterback position. So it was a really risky play to kind of put him in this week, but maybe you had quarterbacks on bye and you chose smartly on the waiver wire, and he was a good play for you.
All right, I got Allen Robinson. So this was, I was more forced into starting Allen Robinson, but it worked out this week. Even with Stafford leaving in the 3rd quarter, he caught 4 passes on 5 targets for 47 yards and saved his day with a touchdown. It's not a great day, but top 15 wide receiver on the week, played on 83% of the offensive snaps. It's not ideal to start him week to week, even with Cooper Kupp not playing there. They play Kansas City and then Seattle in the next 2 weeks. Then they get Las Vegas, which is maybe a little bit easier of a matchup. But he definitely got the job done this week on a risky week for me to start him, for me to have to play him.
My risky play was Joshua Palmer. With Keenan Allen, Mike Williams both coming back. You don't know what his role was fully going to be. I know Mike Williams, got hurt, so that was unexpected. But Joshua Palmer, 8 receptions, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Played good. I thought he could have had a 3rd. Kind of a little hold on the backside. Missed it with one hand. But hey, that was a great game last night. Or 2 nights ago.
I think that was the true spicy play because you knew both wide receivers were coming back, and if you're like, I'm starting up Palmer anyway, bro, that is.
What if I told you I started Mike Williams and Joshua Palmer? Because I did actually. I went in the garage league, but I had no other receivers. Offer some trades out. Nobody looked at him. Nothing happened.
Russell Wilson got that. Whoa, that is spicy. So Jacoby Brissett, Allen Robinson, and Joshua Palmer, you guys are this week's Spicy Award winners. So this last award is a random player with a huge performance. This is the Where With Who Award.
You've been where? Where who?
My Where With Who Award winner is Austin Hooper. He was the tight end 3 on the week. He caught all 4 of his passes for only 36 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns that really propelled his game to, that top 3 tight end performance. I wouldn't have gone into this game expecting a big game from him. And if you had told me before, I would have said you were lying, you dirty liar. But the Titans tight end, he experienced that, that random Thursday night boost that happens for some players. And just Hooper drives the touchdowns, Chief.
All right, my a random player with a huge performance. The Where with Who award winner for me is going to be Tyler Bass, the kicker from the Buffalo Bills. The man was
Kickers
on.
matter hashtag.
The man was on fire. He hit 2 from 30 plus, hit 2 from 40 plus, and got 1 from 50 plus, hitting a 56-yard field goal in there. 6 for 6 on the day. He hit his only extra point that he attempted. Finished the week with 23 fantasy points. Kickers matter hashtag. That's
Yes.
what it is, huh?
Yes.
He finished 16 overall on the week. Not out of all kickers, but out of everyone, he finished 16 overall. This is a random player with a huge performance. And if you started Tyler Bass, good for you.
Yeah, that's just kickers can do that, man. You never know how they're gonna go, but one day you're just gonna have that just kicker god performance, that just the golden cleat. I don't know, like it's just, and this week it was Tyler Bass. And yeah, it's just amazing to see.
My random player award, the Where with Who is going to be Samaje Perine. Backed up Joe Mixon, 3 receiving touchdowns. I mean, I think he had 2 receiving touchdowns before Joe Mixon even got hurt. So he was just in there. And I mean, he is going to be a huge pickup for this week. But I mean, it was random. I don't think I had him on the bench just because I wanted him as a why am I forgetting what it's called?
Bench stash or insurance policy?
Yeah, insurance policy. And well, I mean, I wish I would have started him. Wouldn't have lost.
All right, so Austin Hooper, Tyler Bass, and Samaje Perine, you guys are this week's Where with Who award winners. Let's move on to the waiver wire. So who are you guys adding 45% or less rostered off the waiver wire this week?
Okay, I'll go first again. This is going to be another week where I think probably moving forward, we're going to have weeks where we're overlapping with a lot of these guys, but that's just how it is when we get to these weeks later in the season. But my top waiver wire guy for this week is going to be Latavius Murray, 34.2% rostered. Melvin Gordon was waived by the Broncos. C'est la vie. It was a hopefully mutually amicable splitting. They're both off to better pastures. Just wasn't meant to be. But that means Latavius Murray should be the lead back on this team, and especially with Chase Edmonds, being injured. While the offense is not really good, they face the Panthers, Baltimore, Kansas City, Arizona, the Rams, and then Kansas City again in week 17, which is huge for your fantasy championships. I like a lot of those, but again, especially that championship game versus the Chiefs, which are a bottom 10 run defense. Murray is a little touchdown dependent, but he's getting a good amount of touches and probably will get more moving forward. And he's also involved in the passing game, which is key for PPR leagues. So I would say pick him up if you haven't already. And he's a guy who probably you can put in your flex.
All right, I'll go next. I got my number one ad this week is going to be Samaje Perine, 3.8% rostered. Like Ryan was just talking about him, he had an amazing week. Now I don't expect 3 receiving touchdowns from him again, but Joe Mixon is going to miss time. Probably, like we talked about, he's in concussion protocol, so I expect him to miss at least a week. Meaning Samaje Perine is going to slide into the Bengals' number 1 running back role. Get him in the double-digit touches for 50, 60 yards, chance at a touchdown. This is a high-powered offense, so I don't know if he'll completely stand out, but definitely worth the ad. especially at the running back position, and especially if you have Joe Mixon and you need that insurance policy, as Ryan was talking about.
Mhm.
I completely agree with the running backs you used. I'm going a little here, streaming tight end, looking for a Dallas Goddard replacement. And it's Juwan Johnson, 5 touchdowns in his last 5 games. This offense isn't great, but he's usable. Andy Dalton's looking for him in the red zone. If you're looking, most tight ends you're looking for a shot at a touchdown. Dawson Knox, Juwan Johnson, those type of tight ends. San Francisco, Tampa Bay, not the greatest matchups. Those are also teams that can rush the passer or rush the quarterback. Andy Dalton's gonna have to get the ball out quick. This could be Alvin Kamara, Juwan Johnson. He might not have time to throw to Chris Olave and Jarvis Landry.
Okay, my second guy is going to be running back Isaiah Pacheco. Barely makes the cut, just by the chinny chin. 43.7% rostered. He had his first 100-yard game this past week. He didn't do anything through the air, but not many Kansas City running backs get work through the air. It's mostly for other people, Hall of Fame tight ends. But he does look explosive, and Edwards-Helaire is now dealing with that high ankle sprain, meaning Pacheco will likely see a good amount of touches each week. He only really has McKinnon to contend with, but McKinnon's not getting a lot. Pacheco's had at least 15 touches the past 2 weeks. This team is looking like a Super Bowl level team, just the way they're playing. Their defense, maybe not as much, but that offense for sure. And he is facilitating that. They have some tough defenses in the next few weeks, but in the fantasy playoffs, they face Houston, Seattle, and then the championship, Denver, which is the toughest of the 3, but who knows? I think you get him before he is above this threshold after this week.
My second guy is going to be Latavius Murray, like Keone talked about, 34.2% rostered. Finally got 50% of the offensive snaps this week for the first time. And, even with Melvin Gordon getting quite a bit of work out there, Melvin Gordon got 45% of the offensive snaps. Murray still outplayed him or outsnapped him. Outplayed him too, and has been a top 35 running back every single week that he's played so far this season. So a guy that you can go add on the waiver wire that can slot into your flex.
Treylon Burks, since he returned from his injury, 10 receptions, 14 targets, over 100. Oh, well, last game he had over 100. The fact is, they are a run-heavy offense, but he's a first-round pick, and you can get a receiver who could be the number 1 option on his team for based off waivers week 12. I would take it. Cincy, Philly, Jags, Chargers is upcoming schedule. Not great, but again, it's going to be a lot of play-action pass. They're not going to worry about Treylon Burks beating them. And I think there's possibility if he could get the same usage of 8 targets, 6 targets, he could be fantasy relevant.
Yeah, getting a top wide receiver for a team this late in the season is huge.
And I don't think it's Robert Woods. So I think he scored, but I think Treylon Burks is a lot better than him.
So my third waiver wire guy is somebody that Ryan mentioned at the top. It's Juwan Johnson, 19.2% rostered. Basically, Ryan took all my arguments, so we're in the mind meld there. He said everything that I wanted to say. He's done great. But yeah, red zone work, touchdowns, that's what you look for in a streaming tight end. So pick him up if you can and if you need him.
So you're telling me it's a Taysom Hill week? All right, my last guy is someone who Keone just talked about, Isaiah Pacheco. barely makes the cut, 43.7%. Yeah, Keone nailed it on the head. Go get this guy before before it's too late, because this is their lead guy. CEH now done for at least a week, if not a little bit longer, and was looking like he was on the way out anyway. So yeah, McKinnon's still getting more snaps than Pacheco, but Pacheco looks better. He's getting more meaningful snaps. He's not the pass catching down back there, so McKinnon's gonna get some work, but I'd rather have Pacheco right now at this time.
And I'm looking for a handcuff here. Insurance policy. We're kind of getting later this season. And I want one on one of the best offenses in the league. I think James Cook. This week, they were the offense a little, weird, but he had 11 carries, 86 yards. I'm not saying he's going to have a week role, obviously, but if Devin Singletary does get hurt, Hines and James Cook, and I know they traded for Hines, but I don't think he's been really useful to them. I think Cook would become the lead back in the offense. And, the upcoming schedule, Detroit, New England, Jets, Miami, Chicago, Cincy. There's multiple games there where the offense can go off. And, this is just insurance policy here. You guys running backs, pick them up first. But, if you don't get them and you're looking for a back, James Cook could be available for you. 20% rostered.
Yeah. And you're right, over Nyheim Hines.
Mm-hmm.
They traded for Nyheim Hines, and I really don't know why. His first week there, he played 4, then 6. Now he's up to 10 snaps. Touched the ball 1 time, I believe, and is returning kicks and stuff. So I think Cook is the right insurance policy, because Devin Singletary is the lead dog there. 72% of snaps this last week, 72, 74, 75 the weeks before that.
Yeah, Singletary's the main guy. I don't think James Cook is not every week. You're never gonna be able to play him unless Singletary goes down with the.
But if he does,
and when he does go down, you are gonna get a RB2 flex play. I think in this situation.
So, is there anyone you are dropping this week?
Mike Williams.
Michael Thomas too.
Both of them together. Get him out of your team. All the mics are gone.
Mike Thomas just got cut from the Bengals, waived. I'm sorry.
There you go. I just don't like him re-aggravating an injury, no matter how, if it's not serious or not, as Brandon Staley said, I think, or something like that. It's just you're re-aggravating an injury that was already existing. So and also Palmer, Allen seems like he might be back. Palmer is definitely a main guy. So I think, you can look elsewhere.
Maybe James Robinson. I know he scored a touchdown last time they played? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But man, 7 carries for 10 yards. He's just not explosive, Even the week before versus Buffalo, 13 carries for 48. That's not great.
Never really has been explosive.
Yeah, but and it's just offense.
Struggling.
It's hard to watch.
James Robinson is a tryhard. He runs hard whenever he gets the ball, but he's not great. I'm gonna go ahead and say Clyde Edwards-Helaire as a drop. You don't need him on your team taking up a bench spot. Let him sit out there for the name capital on the waivers for someone else to go get. Got banged up this week dealing with a high ankle sprain. He's probably gonna miss a couple weeks. They face the Rams this week, then Cincinnati, Denver, and then Houston in week 15. And then Seattle and then Denver again for your fantasy championship. I don't really like that for CEH, as the team's moving away from him, so your fantasy team might as well move away from him. All right, is there anyone you guys are adding before your list that's over 45% rostered so they couldn't make this segment?
Christian Watson. He's 55.8% rostered. 5 touchdowns the past 2 weeks. Go-to receiver for the end zone for Aaron Rodgers. Averaging 7 targets over the past 2 games, 77.5 yards over those 2 games. An average. Pick him up. And, they face some vulnerable defenses come fantasy playoff time. So maybe my prediction for Alan Lazard should have been for Christian Watson. I don't know. We'll see. As a second half stud.
Big, strong, and fast.
I agree with
You
you.
should not be able to be that fast if you're that big.
His confidence is back too, so that's
Yeah.
always good to see. That week 1 drop had him, and then injuries, but he's back, so that's good. I'm gonna go Derek Carr here. This is really based on the matchup here. I think he is like 55% roster. Yeah, 55.5. Last 3 weeks, he's averaging 270 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. No turnovers. Is the offense great? No. But going against Seattle and the Chargers, 2 defenses that I think you can score on. And week 14 is the Rams, and I mean, the Rams could be over by then, to be honest. I don't know how many more games their stars are going to play if they keep losing. So, this is really, maybe you lost Justin Fields or you need a guy because of bye weeks. I think there's a possibility Derek Carr could get you 20 to 24 fantasy points. And that's not week winning, but that's not week losing. That's what matters there.
Blink twice if James is holding you hostage. All right. I'm saying George Pickens, 62% rostered right now. He seems to have surpassed Deontay Johnson as the number 1 wide receiver there for Kenny Pickett. This offense is terrible, but Pickens has a chance at a touchdown. Caught a touchdown, had a chance at a second touchdown this week. Yeah. Just a high upside play.
I traded for him earlier in the season, and that trade included Deontay Johnson. So I'm glad that I was able to switch those, and it's worked out.
Yeah, good move by you. Something we've talked about the last couple of weeks now, but it's getting closer and closer. Deshaun Watson. Still only 36% rostered right now. He's eligible to come back week 13.
Pick him up. Like, come on. I picked him up. Like,
yeah.
just to, I don't, just to have him, even if you're just doing it so other people can't have him, that's fine. That's a strategy.
Yeah. All right.
I agree. I mean, we don't know what he's going to look like. He's not played football in such a long time. But I think he came back to practice this week, right?
Yeah,
He's been
week 11.
practicing, yeah.
Yep, week 11 he was
So
going into week 11. So for a whole week now he's been practicing.
I just think there's a real possibility where he could come back and be worse than Russell Wilson. But there's also a possibility he could be a top 10 quarterback.
I thought you could just say better than Russell Wilson. I'm like, yeah, there's a chance he could be better than Russ.
Listen, JJ, there's a chance you could be better than Russell Wilson
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
Okay, right? I'm not saying that. But I'm saying there's a chance he could be the guy he was before who could, top 6 fantasy quarterback.
40 burger on the Texans in his first week.
I think there's a possibility that is a similar situation to what happened to Russ in Seattle, where it might be a little too much and Houston might steal that win.
We will see.
That's Houston's Super Bowl.
I feel you. Maybe we'll make a bet.
Yeah,
on
maybe Pete Carroll doesn't like Russ. The whole city of Houston doesn't like Watson.
All right, that'll do it for the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead, like, subscribe, follow along wherever you are listening to this, and tell your friends, because that's really how we're going to grow here and get some fun people to hang out with. Follow us on Twitch. Come hang out with us Monday and Wednesday nights on Twitch. We're here every week. So, at FF Daydreamers. On Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow the social medias, slide into the DMs if you guys have any questions, or just follow along and wait for that gritty video to come out this week of Keone. You guys got anything else? The
God
website,
damn it, Keone.
fantasydaydreamers.com. We got all of our content there. It's great stuff.
What, Ryan?
Why didn't you beat freaking Kevward? Oh my goodness, in the Garage League.
I-
I just saw
All right,
that.
let's save it for the Twitch.
Hey.
Everyone, stay dreaming.
Stay dreaming.
I dance for you all. Stay dreaming.